Hi guys and girls, and welcome back to another episode. Today's episode will be covering how to sow a lawn from scratch. The raised bed in the video was constructed by me and my brother a few weeks back. This was built over an existing lawn that used to struggle with drainage as it was mainly made up of clay. With the frame completed, I then added in 2 tons of quality topsoil. I have spent the last couple of weeks allowing it to naturally settle and raking out every now and again to discourage weed growth. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rake out the lawn. This is how I'm going to level it out, and I'm also going to tread down any spots where the soil doesn't feel firm. The aim is to try and get the soil firm but not compact it too much, as the seed will just sit on top of the soil and dry out and not germinate correctly. This is the most important part in preparation of laying your lawn. Don't rush it, take your time, and feel free to go back over areas you've already done. As I was going along, I was just judging the level with my eye. It's important to try and get it as level as you can, but don't worry too much if it's not perfect. At first, it didn't really feel like I was achieving much. It just felt like I was raking the lawn and then stamping it back down and creating more holes and divots. But over time, I noticed that it did start to level out and go more firm. As I was going along, I also noticed that raking it was helping dislodge some of the weeds. Ensure you pick these out where you can. Once you're happy with a certain area, just lightly drag the rake through that area, ensuring it's flat and it's a good bed for the seed to land onto. For today's video, I'm going to be using Grow Sure fast acting lawn seed, and I'm also going to be conducting a feed afterwards with some seaweed feed by Maxi Crop. Before getting started, I had a quick look at the instructions on the back of the box. I shook the box thoroughly to mix up the seeds. They do recommend on the box to lay this onto damp soil, as this will help with the germination process. To lay the seed, I ensured I raked out a good sized area. I then manually laid it out by hand, going at right angles. Don't worry if you don't get a perfect coverage, as we will be going over this afterwards with a garden rake. At the edges of my border, I was careful to get a bit lower to the ground, ensuring that I didn't spread seed where I didn't want it to land. I then proceeded to lightly rake over it, spreading the seed into the soil, allowing for a better coverage. I then proceeded to take my time. I'd rake out a small lane and then ensure that I'd cover it all with seed. Before starting this today, I did have a quick glance at the weather and the wind forecast, as you don't want it to be too windy while laying the seed, as it will get everywhere. As you can see, I did do my best to try and cover the ground as evenly as possible, but don't worry too much, as the rake will help even this out once you run it through. I have seen videos online that recommend you treading the seed into the ground. I didn't fancy doing this, as I didn't want to track seed all through my driveway and into the back garden. It is important to give a good coverage of seed. Don't be too sparse of it. There is recommendations on the box, but I find it easier just to judge it by eye. In the next image, you can see now what the border looks like with the seed raked into the soil. At this point, you could top dress it with compost or topsoil, but today I'm choosing to fit mine with a fleece to cover the seed and protect it from birds. I'm also fortunate enough to be left over with quite a lot of seed, so I'll be using this in the future to fill any patches I've missed. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, today I'm going to be using MaxiCrop plant growth stimulant. I'm going to be applying this using the pressurized container shown in the image here. First thing I'm going to do is add 15 milliliters, which is 1 capful, to my container. It does recommend on the back of the bottle to use 9 litres of water per 1 cap. However, I'm choosing to double the dose today. Once filled up with water, I am then going to attach the pump, which will help pressurise the container. Once the cap's screwed on and it's pressurised, I am then going to use a container to spray the liquid seaweed and water mix over my new sown lawn. I'm hoping by doing this it will just increase the chances of germination and create a healthier lawn overall. I'll be doing another video in 2 weeks' time to show you the progress of my lawn. If you enjoyed today's video, please feel free to like, comment, or even subscribe for weekly content. As always, thank you for watching.